Hello and welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. As you can see, I am not very prepared. No music, no camera. I'm very sorry, but I did not want to make you wait any longer. So thank you very much for coming. Forget me for not searching eye contact, but I am trying to get the camera running so that you can see. There's nothing here yet. 1 second. So there is our candidate for today. Let me adjust the camera. And then we are more or less good to go. It is completely not right way. So let me tell you, I will correct and I will tell you why you are here. You are here for the Buffy Club. We are drawing every 2 episodes, every week. There we talk and vote in for 2 episodes which one is the most interesting and the most valuable player MVP of an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And then I'm drawing that person on a Friday, in the Friday stream. There's also a Wednesday stream with superheroes or different stuff, mostly superheroes, but Friday is the Buffy Club. If you like that and if you want to also vote for somebody in the future, just visit my Discord. You can find the link to the Discord in the link tree down in the description. And now, I could play. I have a special playlist for the Buffy Club. Give me a second. I will prefer that today, I think. But takes a second longer. And there, and there. And then there. And play. Should I already play? Yeah, I'm very quiet. So let me check. You should hear it. You should hear it not too loud. So there it is. Hello, Liana. Welcome to the stream. You can see everything, right? I'm live setting everything up. So we will switch now to the drawing and to the drawing mode. And I even have to adjust the picture here. We have drawn a Tom Holland draw along. So if you're interested in something like that, you can find that stream on my channel, or you wait for the time-lapse version, which will be partly time-lapse because I want to keep the tutorial character of that stream also for the video. So we are drawing today Amy, and if I'm not mistaken, this is the right picture. I tell you. So there it is. Zoom a little bit in. And as you can also see, there is already a little bit on the paper. As always, I have prepared. I did not for the tutorial stream, so that you could start with me and draw everything with me right from the start. But for the general streams, I do that so we can start with the more interesting stuff. So, am I now prepared? Almost. I need my picture also on my reference picture. This is not my reference picture. This is okay, now I think I'm ready. I hope you are too. And although the last one was the tutorial stream, when you visit one of my live streams, you can always ask for advice. You could even show me a picture or something and I will tell you what I think. And if you want any kind of advice, you can ask at any time. But now we will start with Amy. So the 2 episodes we were talking about, or we are talking about, yeah, be prepared that I should have been. The 2 episodes we are talking about are, I don't think I can get together the names, but the first one is the one where we discover, and actually also discovers, that he is in fact a werewolf. And yeah, so we had him nominated, of course. The second episode is the one where Xander is jealous and sad and everything, and rejected by Cordelia. So he asks Amy to cast a spell. And it goes horribly wrong. So we had also Cordelia nominated, and then we had nominated Willow and Amy. And yeah, I am pretty happy that it was Amy that we are now drawing, because we had Oz in season 1 already, and Cordy I think 2 streams ago or something, or was it even last stream? I'm not even sure. And therefore I think Amy is a good choice. We did not draw her in the first season. After all, she already appeared there in the second episode, right? I think the third episode. I should open the chat. I was supposed to sing it. I'm actually not sure which song it is. Be prepared. Which song are we talking about? Give me a hint. I could invent a melody, but I'm standing on the Schlauch. Okay, so we are now, and of course the camera takes a break. I have to turn around. So as always, we go for the eyes first to make it look a little bit more friendly. It is with this one again a little bit more difficult, just because of the resolution of the picture, the reference picture. It's really not very good quality. But that's mostly the case with the Buffy portraits, honestly. The Lion King, yeah, that is the one movie I've seen it once and I was completely underwhelmed, and I have not yet seen the animated one, the new one. I saw it pretty late, I would say in the last 3 years somewhere, and therefore that everybody is always talking about that one, and I don't know what, I found it really boring. That's probably one of the most controversial opinions I have. So she has blue eyes, so we cannot go too dark. And we have to be careful that she really does not look at us. So there's always more of a dark line around the iris, or the retina. Is that the retina is at the back of the eye, right? I don't know. But you have always a little bit darker part surrounding, you know, the blue of the eye. still see both pics moving. It should be repaired now also, but there was a warning, and I have not checked if that really stopped the camera. But normally when the telephone says NG battery, then it pauses. I did start recording. That's why I have to keep drawing. But thank you for reminding me. So, this is again a picture where I was considering taking white paper because it is just not very contrasty, but at least we have a little bit on the hair, and by now we are a little bit caught up in gray for the Buffy stream. And this new paper is anyway much more able to work with details, so I'm looking forward to see how this one will look. First Buffy stream picture on the new grey paper. Yeah, I have seen in some series, or I have seen a small, very small section, and at least the effects seem to be really good. But that's the only thing I could say. I think I've seen some sad dogs on TikTok crying over Mufasa. So we just have, I also like to put in a little bit of the shadows surrounding the eye, just to give it already a little bit more context, so we can better see. Sometimes the surrounding of the eye is very important for how big an eye seems to be. So if I add the second eye and have none of the shadows surrounding it, it sometimes looks like one of the eyes is bigger than the other, and yeah, the shadows help to give it really more context. It makes it more. I hope you understand what I mean. The context gives it more the appearance as in the picture. If you just take one element out of a picture without the surrounding shadows and stuff, it can look different in size than in the context. Paper more schmooch. Yeah, I think actually it feels smoother. Yeah, it might just be the smoothness. Can very well be. It feels smoother. Looks a bit yellowish. Yeah, that is the tint that for some reason this the camera. I was thinking about adding a filter to remove that, but everything looks a little bit yellowish through the camera for some reason. Even with the white, I would expect that the white, how is it called in English? Weißabgleich. The white calibration would be better when there is a stark white piece of paper. But it's not. Let's not forget the little point of light that we will add already to make a more beautiful eye. I won't sing that either. Give me a second. My control browser isn't even running. Okay. Interesting. The browser is faster, much faster than my streaming software in updating the stream, the chat. So I actually should not use it for chatting. It's strange. Okay, so white fader, white balance, yeah, white balance is the word that I normally have heard. The white balance. Thank you very much. So I have shown in the last stream how such a background, as I have done here, a pre-drawing more or less is created. Normally it does not take me as long as it did in the stream, but I did it very slowly and carefully so people could follow. And here it was a little bit faster. I also always just draw it very fast and very unprecise in terms of that. You see, the lines are wonky and everything, so I still have to check it all. For example, I think now that the eye here is too big, but the positions and everything is pretty much measured and taken care of, so I don't have to worry about that anymore in the stream. Very smart. So, fader thing is apparently specifically for cameras. I think in the video software and everything I'm using, it's called white balance, so white fader is then probably actually in the recording device. That could be. Did not really make it smaller, did I though? Let me check. Let me measure. I normally don't measure that much anymore at this point, but sometimes I do. And the eyes are about the same size. Of course, the face is a little bit tilted, which produces a little bit of a size difference, but I think we are good here. I just have to make sure that I have enough white on this side of the eye. Let me also measure the size of that eye. Okay, so the complete size of this should go from here until the end, so it is not completely big enough. So I will actually make it a little bit bigger. Very good. Okay, so next eye. Yeah, we had more than one picture to decide from for Amy. A second one. So I always have to watch for real close-ups in the series, and for Amy I had 2 for this episode to choose from, where I said okay, it's close enough in terms of quality, resolution, everything, that I can use it in a stream. And the second one, she actually looks a little bit more Amy-ish, as we know her later though. So Liana brought that up and she's completely correct. So this is pretty much pretty close to Amy, how she is at this point in time. So this is a good representative image. Hello Dana, welcome to the stream. How are you today? I hope you're good. Your picture is really amazing, as I have seen in the Discord. The draw along to Tom Holland. Barely hear you, by the way. Ah, it's not because of my sound. Okay. Daughter is singing. What is she singing? Probably not my background music. Good thing the way the camera is now mounted, it is here, so my head can never be in front of the camera. Ha! Problem solved. It is now this nook is... Oh, it's not even... Why doesn't nobody tell me that I am very small? Well, even smaller than normal. So, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Just that you don't feel neglected or something. I wrote a lot to Donna, but she also asked for any advice. I didn't know if you wanted to hear anything, so I only will ever critique stuff when people ask me to critique, because I think it's very rude to just do it because. So don't feel bad if you don't. It is a really good picture. I don't need to critique it too much anyway, but just so you know why I did not write so much. So now we have a second eye. And we have her eyelashes. So it is strange. Am I sure that this eye is not... It looks very derpy. I'm comparing on the video screen so that I get a better idea. Because I'm really not sure with that eye. Terribly unsure. But really not sure. Okay, let me check. Let me add, because I have also, I think it's too small. I will be a bit courageous and add this little crease here. It's not big enough. It should be more. More bigger. Okay, I can write something in the Discord. Earworm. Hey Mighty, welcome and thank you very much. Yeah, it is a big step. It is not really a lot of money when you start, but it is a big milestone. So thank you very much. So what do you guys think? I think I will add the eyebrows, which I have also measured a little bit out. They are very boring. The eyebrows are a bit boring, so pretty easy to add. And I will just add them how I measured them. Here we have then the hair and shadow. I think it could work. I'm really not sure. I think the right eye could be a bit too small or something. I have a weird feeling about it, but it might just be correct. Yeah, I'm getting rich. If I pay some view bots or something, then I could perhaps get rich. And that's right, eyebrows there should be two. So, but this is will count the long run. I made 253 from your last video. You see, that is great. I have no idea. My last video was really nobody's watching my last video for some reason. I guess Domino is not that big of a character. Where do I even see that? In the analytics tab, right? No. I think in the app I know where to find it, but the app is right now my camera, so I cannot check. So okay, we will keep the eye as it is. You're so kind. Thank you so much, Mighty. Then with this video I at least made 99 cents. Thank you very much, mate. I really appreciate it. I'm thinking about doing something for Super Chat, you know. I was thinking about constructing, I have everything here for it, I just have to do it. I was thinking about constructing a paper craft greyhound and writing then in the white gel pen every name of everyone that is participating with the Super Chat on that greyhound. So I will definitely keep it in mind if I manage to do that. But I will add your name to that. Thank you very much, Mighty. I actually try to also use Super Chat in another live just to see how it works and everything, but it just crapped out on me. It just did not work. I couldn't even see the chat anymore. It just did not load for some reason. Watching later today, I was doing my biggest painting I've ever done so far. So, ooh. I'm looking forward to that one. Do you know? You probably know her. She's doing also posts and stuff. Soraya Silvestri, I think. Soraya. She, not a big channel, but as for some reason we small channels seem to know each other pretty good. She does a lot of big canvases. She just again did quite a big one, and I would be so intimidated. I have never really done anything really big. So the biggest is the watercolor Spider-Man that I have done. Not very big in comparison. Bigger than any portrait I've done, but still comparatively small. She is a pretty interesting channel, definitely. She is really good also in updating her pictures, you know, in doing something like a pour and then find a structure in it to make something like a cliffside or whatever. Hey, Art with me, welcome to the channel. How are you today? Thank you so much for dropping by. I really appreciate it. So, I think now I'm also not sure with the nose. This could be one of the most wonky portraits I have ever drawn. We will see. We will see. Let's hope that this is one of those where in the beginning you say, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't know if I can ever save this, and then it turns around the corner and suddenly you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. That is what I wish for. But right now it looks like I'm drawing an 80-year-old woman. Without much lines, for some reason. We will see. We will see. We can save this. I am sure we can. Yeah, I believe that it is imitating. Imitating. That it is imitating. That it is intimidating. It's not an easy word. I believe that. I didn't think about it when I drew my Spider-Man. When I painted him, not drew. I only realized later that it is a lot bigger than what I normally do. But if I would have such a big canvas in front of me and I would have to fill it, but I also don't know a thing about how colors behave, so I would have a lot of different challenges in addition. You are an expert, you know what your color does when you put it on that thingy, canvas thingy. You are pretty cool, Art with me? I hope you are. So, mouth. Got a little bit of a mouth here. I don't know, how is it with you? I had a couple of rough days, so I'm really looking forward to this weekend. I was also really looking forward to drawing today, so don't get me wrong. Because right now, when I draw, it's one of the happiest things I'm doing. So I'm really always looking forward to the streams, but I think my quality will also be not the best today, just because I had a couple of really rough days. I think I trust my pre-drawn lines a bit too much today. On the other hand, that's why I made them, right? So I can trust them. I think all the components are in place, but it does not look anything like Amy yet. But we will see. Thank you, Mighty. I'm not sure today, but thank you. It's great if at least somebody has some confidence. If I don't have it. So... as I said last time, I think this is much more appropriate music for a Buffy stream. But if it is too, I don't know, too lively for you, too much action, if you think it doesn't fit, if it disturbs you, let me know. I think it's a nice change of pace from always the same Streamlabs music I'm using. I feel unsure, like I haven't in months. You know, I feel like I've made a lot of progress in the last couple of months, and I feel like a beginner today again. I don't know. Probably just my feeling. Haven't been doing much YouTubing lately, been working and trying to build my Instagram almost at 700 followers, not bad. But how do you build your Instagram if you don't do your YouTube videos? So you are drawing but not making videos out of it, or is it more lifestyle videos you're sharing? Do I have you on Instagram? I hope so. Let me check. I have to check quickly because I'm also recording on the side for the time lapse. Speed up, but I think I have you. Yeah, I have you. Yes. Oh yeah, I love that. Frankenstein's monster. That is so cool. I have to update my scene so I can also show other people's Instagram on stream. Because I think a lot of people are doing great stuff and deserve to be shown. And that Frankenstein is really amazing. I really love that. I could easily see it as a print somewhere on my wall. So, you like the music, that's good. Dingoes Ate My Baby is not license free. You like all kinds of music, that is good. Insta ads, they're cheap, like $12 over a 6-day period. I have tried that actually with Facebook and it does not work a bit. You know. But I could try it again with Instagram, why not? The thing is though, I don't think, or up until now, none of those social media networks have really bled into each other, if you know what I mean. I do not feel like an increase in subscribe on YouTube helped me in any other social media, like Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and the other way around. I had also a YouTuber, but she shared my portrait of hers on Instagram and I got no additional view of the video. So that was a bit disappointing. And she has a channel, she has more than one channel, and her biggest one is over 1 million subscribers also. So since then I pretty much gave up on the fantasy of getting more YouTube subscribers or watchers through other channels than YouTube. I don't really believe that that is reasonably to be expected. So this is the hair. I already have it now put in a little bit of the surrounding. So we are pretty far for 44 minutes actually. You won that Frankenstein. It is amazing. So it's not yours? Ah, yeah, I think I read that you wrote that it's not yours, you won that. It is really cool. But if I look at your the fat Superman, that is also so fun. Yeah, right. I love that. Oh, what is this one? You have only shown it in an angle, unfortunately. To add my 2 cents. This skeleton biker or whatever. That one is also very cool. Thank you, out with me. I hope it will. I'm absolutely not sure yet. But as I said, we are pretty far along. We probably will even start with the hair today. That could happen. Could happen that I don't shade too much in her face, because I get the feeling that I will make her older and older the more I shade. I did the ad for Instagram, I got a lot of subs, but then once the ad was done I started losing them. I don't know. The thing with Instagram I hate so much is that so many people are just adding you so that you add them, and then 1 day, 2 days later you lose them again. I was actually looking why that happened and found out that there are these, I did not know about them, you perhaps know about them, but I did not know about those. There are bots also all around that you can buy, also monthly fees, monthly services from, that do Instagram ads as they call it, but they in their feature set they say that they do exactly that, automatically add other people, subscribe to other people, and then unsubscribe a little later, just to make them subscribe to you. And I think that is so, that is considered a normal business practice, is somehow really twisted for me in my mind. But people are so desperate getting followers on Instagram. I got a DM with just a person I never heard from, am not subscribed to, and she just sent me her picture, her link to her Instagram posting, and hello, new picture, blah blah, to get me to click on it and give it a heart. Actually considered flagging it as spam. Because it's just frustrating, because when you really try to just grow by posting, it takes so long. But I will consider the ads, because ads is completely the ads directly on Instagram, that is a completely okay thing. And if it works, better and better. Starting to look like her now? Okay, that is a good thing to hear. Probably will have to correct a little bit of the shape with time. But I think it's not that far off actually. So I would at least say I'm throwing everything around today. I would say the direction of her stare and everything, the expression is already pretty similar. Just really to make it her, something is still missing. Oh, I can hear myself. I hope you cannot hear me double. You probably can. I have not on my control window, I seem to not have, yeah, I have not muted myself, I'm sorry. If you heard me double, it should now be gone. It was pretty muted though. Should have been quite not so loud. Yeah, don't follow people just because they follow me. I want people to want to watch my videos. Exactly. Need those eyes that enjoy my project. Yes. Hello, Rochelle. Welcome to the stream. How are you? Yeah, I've never done sub for sub or follow for follow. It does so not work, and I am so thankful for every other artist who is also looking my videos, but you cannot reach, I don't know, 10,000, 100,000 followers with other content creators. Doesn't mean that they are not more than, and you guys, I love you all, and I'm so thankful for all of you, but I think you know what I mean. We need also those non-content creators to watch the videos. So just the sub just for raising your number, never something that I considered a good thing. It raises your number in the short term, but it does not bring you any more view. I follow people I like to watch. When I first started, I did the follow back game, but not very long once I figured out what was happening. Yeah. I actually had a short episode where also, you know, more or less visited every other channel and commented when somebody was commenting on mine. And I realized pretty quickly that most of them, when it's very nondescript comments, are those that are actually ruining my retention and are just there for a couple of seconds. So why should I watch the whole videos? And because of that, and for still some of those, I think they have also activated bots. Some of those are still there commenting and ruining my retention. So I would never advise anybody to do that. Sub for sub kills your analytics because YouTube sees you have subs, but if they aren't watching your content, then your videos aren't promoted as much. Yes, that is completely true. So you want those people who really want to see your content. You as a person, your art, your content. And you don't find them in a sub for sub. So, I think the expression is not bad, but yeah, we still have to find a bit more of her. I think I have the whole time already thought about how this nose line has to be a little bit longer and not as much rounded for her. Welcome back, Liana. So, yeah, if you're new to this channel, welcome to the Sketching Greyhound. We are today drawing Amy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. We have Fridays our Buffy stream. We then call it Buffy Club. And on my Discord, people vote for who is the most interesting or standout character in the... I'm not saying monster today, I'm always saying monster, but Liana was very close to nominating Oz as a werewolf. And I don't draw fur. You can look at my channel, I haven't drawn any animals yet. And in this context I would consider a werewolf an animal. because of the fur. No discrimination, just because of the fur. And therefore, I have to be careful when I say I will draw any monster. Furless monsters, yes. Slimy, I can live with that. Furry, difficult. Hello Altek, welcome to the stream. How are you today? Is the pizza already ordered? I think this goes in a little bit more. And we have perhaps a little bit too much of a cheekbone there. It's still too much hair. You know, this is already too much hair. So you can imagine how I feel about a werewolf. And yeah, if you are interested, as I said, in the Buffy Club, if you want to join, down in the description is the link to all my also to my Instagram if you want to see what I'm not doing other than this here. To my let me check if my slideshow works again. Yeah, there it is. I have to update that though. My most recent pictures are not in there. And yeah, you can find all those links down in the description, but also for my Discord, where you can start voting on who I draw in the Friday stream. So, pizza is ordered, perfect. Then everything is good. Got rid of the singing kid, she's in bed. Perfect. So she sang herself to sleep. Seen the Buffy movie, oh my god. Dude, this movie is... I don't even know. This is a family friendly, I don't know how to word it so I don't get demonetized. Let me say, the movie is a whole different class than the series, and the movie is not better than the series. So, it's a good thing that they changed everything. It is also not a direct continuation of the movie, because you see at a later point in time Buffy's watcher when she was at the other school, and the actor doesn't even look any way like... Who was it in the original? It was a known actor in the original Buffy movie. So I don't think it's even considered. It is more or less the same background story of Buffy. Yes, but it is not a direct continuation. So it's completely fine that they changed the actress. Especially since the movie was so terrible. 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 So far behind in the Buffy series, not sure if I should vote. You can always vote nomination without knowing who is on there. Is difficult. I don't really like too much if somebody gets nominated that doesn't have an actual role in the episode, just because, you know. It's also difficult then to say in the time lapse to rationalize why this is the person that was drawn. But voting, of course. Voting, you don't need to know the details of an episode. Rochelle also has seen the movie. Do not judge the Buffy franchise based on that movie. Please. Please. I'm begging you. Still supposedly the same watcher. Yeah, name and so, but they completely look different. And they would have taken an actor that looks at least a little bit like him. Or would just have shown him from his backside. You know. But they've shown him full frontal. They haven't given him a speaking role, but they have shown him full frontal. It's definitely not a direct continuation. For example, also because the vampires in the movie can fly and in the series they can not. Yes, we know that it was a cost decision. It would have been too expensive to let them fly all the time. But still, it is a major difference in mythology. I think it is a major difference if your enemies can fly or not. So, not the same universe, a parallel universe. Not the same. See you draw with feeling, that's cool. The features of the portrait began. Oh, thank you very much, Art with me. I ended up watching too many episodes and am now way ahead. Oops. As long as you remember the old ones to vote and nominate, that is completely okay. Because I think almost nobody's really watching in parallel at the moment. Most are remembering, I would think. Why did this monitor shut itself down? Energy savings. It's not like we have climate change or something to worry about. Honestly, that's why I've never watched the series. Because of the movie, yeah, I can believe that. The movie is not nearly anywhere as good as the series. But there are not really many Buffy fans who like the movie, Rochelle, so that should tell you a lot of stuff. A lot about it. And even Joss Whedon, creator who did the series and the movie, he said, and that is the reason why there never again was a Buffy movie then also after the episode ended, but everybody was crying for a movie. He said the concept just doesn't work as a movie. He's wrong. I firmly believe he's wrong. I firmly believe the first movie is just really bad in a lot of areas, and also writing. So it is a cop-out from my perspective. It would definitely work as a movie, but it tells you that the creator director also really did not like the movie. So it is completely different than the series. Seen the series multiple times. I'm much further ahead than you are. The movie Merrick was played by Donald Sutherland, and Donald Sutherland looks nowhere near the person who played him in the series that one time that we see him from afar. That I at least remember. I think we see him one time from afar without a speaking role. Does he speak? I have no idea. Thank you so much for even being here, Mighty. Have a great weekend if we don't talk, chat with each other. Enjoy and see you soon. And watch the series, yeah, what Liana is saying. So... So I couldn't compare movie and series. So there are a couple of good jokes in the movie, but I think the direction of the actors was pretty bad. extremely campy and everything. I think he did not take it at all serious when he made the movie, and the villain and his costume, terrible. Rutger Hauer, I think, was the villain, right? Terrible. Cliché. Terrible. Really bad. And those ears with those little wings, more or less, on them for the vampires. Terrible. So it was all much more sophisticated for the series. He can say what he wants. If he would have gone with the way the series was created into a movie, it would have been a completely different product in the end. I think the drawing looks like Anya. Like Anya. I see, actually, by now, more Amy than Anya, I think. But when I'm looking at this small one, actually, Liana, you're not wrong. The small picture, actually. When I look at this now, I think here it looks finally a little bit like Amy, but when I look at the small one, it looks a little bit like Anya. That's true. If you're watching on your smartphone, I can totally understand. And of course, they casted someone completely different. Sutherland hated the role. They wanted distance from that. They wanted distance from Sutherland hating the role? I don't understand that. And I don't understand the argument. I don't think so. You cannot destroy my belief. It is not the same universe. They could have just shown somebody from his backside without even saying anything about that person. He had on his head anyway. You could just see hair from peeking underneath the head or something. But they deliberately showed a person that completely looks different. It starts to look more like Anya now, doesn't it? Hey. See, we are still recording. Okay. It does have a speaking role in the series too, I think. I don't know. I'm not like I can do anything I want. Yeah, that was really good. That was one of the best lines in the whole movie. I'm not saying that there are some diamonds in the rough in there, but they are really swamped by the abysmal performances and the also not really good special effects. I think the music even was really bad. So far that I really never understood how they got even a pilot allowed for the series. But I think he really fought for that. I think that is too strange for me, that song. Although, I've just started rewatching Kill Bill, so it's a little bit like that. Comment about Anya was yeah, but as I said, it starts to look a little bit more like Anya, I think, at the moment. Depending on the angle I hold my head, I can see either Anya or Amy. Pike. Pike was her love interest, yeah. Right. But they also just let him disappear. They never talk at all, I think, in the series about him. Do they? I don't think so. So we're now entering the more detailed shading already. So we should get a little bit more of Amy now. But now that you said it, Liana, she's also changing from Emma Caulfield to Amy for me. So I have to ban you for that now. Drunk in Vegas? That's not a good career choice. Especially when he's running around in the same universe as Army of the Dead. But that's not a movie we should discuss on at the Family Channel. So don't you worry. I'm blowing across all the little particles of my sharpened pencil. Not a smart idea. Because of the general hair shape? Could be. I think it's longer than Anya ever has it, so once I draw it, it might be a bit less Anya-y. Could also write something like I love rabbits on the t-shirt so that everybody knows it cannot be Anya. I don't know. I think the expression actually is now not too bad. I don't count that as a spoiler. If that's a spoiler, then the name Anya is a spoiler. And you started with Anya. The issue with this light shading that I'm doing here right now, as soon as you have a little bit of an edge or something on the lead itself, it can suddenly draw much darker, and you have a dark line in your shading. Yeah. But there are already a lot of good episodes in the second season, in the first season also, but I sometimes really forget how good the series really is. Still very watchable, and I just love, and that's very current now for those episodes that were the topic today. I should add more white, right? I have not added any kind of highlight yet. The werewolf episode where Oz discovers that he's a werewolf when he calls his family, his aunt I think, and asks if his little cousin, whatever his name, if he's a werewolf, and they just casually, oh yeah, why are you asking? You cannot hear them obviously in the. You just see him, but his reaction is very clear that they are pretty nonchalantly telling him, "Oh yeah, yeah, of course, yeah, he's a werewolf." So there's always very. It looks like she has drank too much milk. Now I have to add more, or it will look very strange. Second is my favorite still. What second? Second episode? No, I can't believe that you like the Zenda episode more than the Oz episode. So we won't do too much with the white, but there are a couple of areas that we will lighten up to give it a bit more of a 3D look, a little bit more life. But this is one that is definitely not begging for too much highlights. So we won't overdo it. So that's why I'm using the colored pencil and not my extremely white one, which I was using for the white of the eyes, my pastel pen. The second season. Is it my favorite season? Difficult to say. I think it could actually be, season-wise, it could be the best season. But there are so many good episodes still upcoming. And my favorites still. So, might be the best season. I would not say no to that. It's really not easy when you take those a little bit less less contrasty pictures and try to include a little bit of the white. For me, it's not that easy to decide how far to go. I have to be careful that it doesn't look make-uppy or gimmicky. And also it looks much more extreme on camera than it looks for me on paper, which is more a perspective thing, not necessarily the camera, but it is the reflectiveness of the pens and the light and the camera directly looking from top, and I'm looking at an angle. So always check, especially with the white, how it looks on camera. So, I've always wanted to meet Cousin Jordy. Yeah, he doesn't appear. The bridge of the nose might help. Sorry for taking over telling him. People, talk Buffy with me. Talk Buffy with me. Or drawing, or whatever. So... yeah, the bridge of the nose does not have shading. That is... the issue. It does not have shading at all. No, it has here on this side, it has very little on this side. So I cannot really add that much more shading because there isn't. Makes me also a little bit unsure. But I think there is not that much left in this area of shading that I can do. I have to desperately go for this part here, but it's also very dependent on the shadow of the hair here actually. So we have the shadow, which I've started here. It goes further along until somewhere here. So then we have, it's also a shadow I think, that comes up till here, but it stops somewhere here. Here we have hair that starts with a shadow underneath here. We'll draw the hair a bit darker actually here than it is, just to make sure to show that it is hair and not a shadow, because we do not have color to show that. So, Alex, hey, welcome. Donna, don't worry, all good, Donna. Pizza time, enjoy the pizza, I'll take. Looking like her now? That's good to hear, thank you, Donna. So we are still, or we will definitely have a little bit of a highlight here for the hair, because, you know, blonde. And highlights in hair are always flashy and cool. Now we have a lot more shadow here. Down. And then a really dark shadow here. And not a very sharp line between them. So a little bit more blurry. Can actually go really dark here. Mr. Squeaky! You can believe it, squeaked quite a lot when I drew Domino's hair. So we also have a lot of shadow on this side, and we just also already tint that really dark, so that is also already visible, that we will go really dark there. That will help us also with the definition of the shape of the face, but we have to be careful so it doesn't get lost in the little bit craggly dark pencil. So I think we will also add a little bit darkness here. So then I think I still also see Anya. Not necessarily. Anya is also in Buffy. It's fine. It's fine. Squeaky, squeaktastic. So we still have more than half an hour, so we will start with hair. Who knows? Might we finish this today? Probably not completely. Without me, I will probably still touch it anyway, but we could have a complete first or even second draft completed by end of the stream. You never know. We have a little bit of stray hairs here that are very light, and I'd like to add that actually. And I've learned that with a little bit more pressure The pastel also draws quite well on the lead, where I did not think that it would, actually. So, here. So, if you like what you see, please subscribe, give me that like. I have not taken a look at how much likes sometimes. I know by my own experience as a watcher of lives that you just sometimes forget to like. So if you forgot until now to like, please feel invited to do so now. And if you like the content, I have 2 live streams a week. You are more than welcome to join, and I have then 2 time-lapse videos a week that are based on the lives. Even if I don't finish in a live a picture, you can see the full result always in that time-lapse. If you want to get in contact with me, you can do so via different possibilities like Twitter, Facebook, or Discord. You can find the link down in the description. So, darker hair, then blonde hair is difficult. I think blonde hair is much more difficult than dark hair, because for dark hair you can just pile on darkness and darker lines, and for blonde you have to be very, very careful to not overdo it so it doesn't look too dark, and you cannot add as many, you cannot easily add as many layers of hair on there to get the more hairy feeling. On the grey at least you can add a little bit of white even there where there is no real highlight, but just to get the feeling a little bit better of light hair. So we overdo it with the white in the hair a little bit, because we have a lot of light reflections up here, so we have to pile on even more there. But we also need there just for making sure that it is recognizable as blonde hair. So something is strange, because my picture is appearing and reappearing. If I'm gone in a second, you know, my PC was haunted by some kind of demon and it got out and got to me. call Buffy or the Ghostbusters then? Your choice. So we have a lot darker here, but I started without adding too much darkness, just for that possibility of layers again. So now we layer on it the darker part to get it a little bit more towards what we see in the reference image. But we don't start directly with the darkness, you know. We first go for the lighter shades. Now comes the darkest. It is a lot darker than in the original, this area here. But I just want a little bit more contrast. You know, executive artist choice. Executive decision. So let me go get the X. Blonde and shiny. Then we have to check if the X is sharp enough for bone. Doesn't work in English. Seems good, it's not cutting out on this end. Okay, perfect. Thank you, art with me. I think that part of the hair is okay for now. A little bit here. A couple of smaller highlights at the tips. And then we can move on to the next part. So I will turn it a little bit. It's a bit difficult otherwise. So we've done a draw along last time, and the technique we're using there, we have been using there for the hair and drawing highlights. We are also using here, but just for half of the way, not from this side, just from here, because it becomes lighter and lighter up until there, and we are using it also again in different levels of darkness. Then we have an okay section of the hair. So a little bit of highlights also in there. Some more on this side because it becomes in general lighter there. Not always now completely like in the original, but with single strands of hair it stops at some level. And to be fun to draw if you really try to recreate every single hair. There are artists out there that can do that and are doing that. And hats off to them. But I'm not that kind of artist. So. With this kind of long hair, it is really difficult to get this complete line really in the right direction, but we have here also the additional complexity, but I think also redeeming quality in this case of a lot of different highlights. We have here a highlight and we have here a highlight, a big one. So it's more or less different areas in this direction, not in this. In this we could also sectionize the hair again. I'm all for sectionizing hair, as I've been talking about in the tutorial in the draw along last Wednesday. But in this case it is sectionized by the highlights. So we start up here and draw just until the first highlights. I'm making this up on the fly, by the way. It's not like I've drawn this picture a lot of times or something like this hair structure, but this is just what I'm thinking right now is probably the best approach here. Because somehow I have to approach it and it is very long. So I have to find a way to make it a little bit more easy on me. As always, backseat drawing is totally allowed. So if you are an artist, you can tell me what you would do. Perhaps it helps me. And I learned something, and I like to learn stuff, especially in art. I'm not perfect. I am on my way. I have started this channel to learn again, become better again, and draw again, which I haven't done for a long time. So I'm all in for the learning process. Just wondering how you were going to do that. The hair, yes, me too. And this is just something that while I was talking right now, I was actually constructing this idea of just sectionizing it into the highlights, because it's a logical way, isn't it? I have now this light area, and here already I could already start, but just for illustration purposes right now, here already the next highlight is starting, you know? So if I just mark it a little bit, we see all that in between I can fill in, and up here it's much darker again than here, so we will just like we did with Tom Holland on Wednesday, we will just draw towards here, and in the other direction also. It's a bit, we did not have this in Tom Holland, but you have to somehow adjust the technique when you have to fade out in two directions, right? You sometimes have to layer a little bit more, so you do not see the points where the ends meet in the middle. And we might lighten this with the eraser, because it has become quite dark. Darker than I intended to do it. Well, that's what the erasable, the kneadable eraser is. Kneadable? I think we found out at one time that it's called the kneadable eraser. So this part will become a little bit darker than the other direction, but I am from that direction where I was just pulling the hairs in that direction, it went too much south, I don't know. It has to be pretty orderly, just because she has very kempt hair. It's a 90 thing, I think. Very straight hair. Then we go down into the little bit less dark area. This is its own area. This becomes, we have to pull this through, I guess. But first we do this little part. We have here, of course, also a streak that is darker. So we also pull that through the highlights, but the rest, there's a little bit here. So we orient ourselves on the original hair, of course, where the light and the dark is, but of course do not even, at least in the beginning, and I see myself there in the beginning too, don't attempt to bring in every single strand of hair exactly where it is, because just a simple question, why should you? Nobody will recognize, nobody. If you do a contest and you want to enter, or you have to enter a picture that is exactly like the reference, but other than that, nobody will count hairs. And if they do, they should talk to their therapist about it. Actually, I should have also considered to lighten it a little bit here, but I think that still works. We have to go a little bit further here with the hair though. And then we have this here, and I think we are too far in down here. It's too long here. Thank you, art with me. So now we add a lot of highlights in. Probably will also try to sharpen the pastel one, which is not as easy because it is also pretty prone to break. But if you have a really sharp sharpener, it's not too bad. So, probably not enough highlights on the other side. You don't want to overdo it. I think we might add a little bit of highlights actually in there when we are generally done with other parts. As always, I also like, even with the really light hair, to add some really dark streaks, because there are quite dark lines in here. You have some here where we already have added, you have one here, and it just really brings in a little bit more detail into the hair. Just so some dark streaks bring in a lot of contrast and three-dimensionality. So we have here a little bit of darkness in. We have here a little streak of dark. And of course, when you're not sure how much or where, those are the times where you can really look at the original with the hair and see, okay, here's an area where there should be a little bit more dark. And there is an area. And then we have not a complete hair. We still have to add this here, but we are pretty far along, if you ask me. Thank you, Dana. So some darkness again, especially when you put it directly in contrast with the white. That is pretty cool, actually. Okay, we have a floating head. What do you think of the floating head? I think we should add a little bit of the neck. Not very dark, the neck shadow here, but it is darker than the face. So we have to make sure that the difference is clearly visible. think somewhere around here. Wait. Definitely Amy floating, and that is good. I still also can see Anyan. I think you've ruined it now, but just a joke. I can still see Anya, but you have not ruined it. So shadow that is still missing. And then we will make this a little bit darker, because what she is wearing is really dark. We want just a little hint of that. Not too much. I'm not too overly fond of drawing too much of the clothes. Just a little bit of context again. I don't even see it here because Xander's in the way. Well, it's not like we cannot invent it, so if we wanted we could just... We probably will. We know that here there is this line and then there starts Xander, and we can still use it as some of an indicator and just improvise a little bit of the shadow away with you. I might use my blending stick to make this look a little bit smoother, the black. But other than that, I think we are pretty far. No, you can't. You can't see Anya anymore. That's not a bad sign. So you know what, I think it's Amy. Even the white parts are, I think, pretty okay by now. I think the forehead can go a little bit more. Get a little bit more shading. Very smooth though. Bit better. Thank you, Donna. Really appreciate that. And you staying for so long. As you too, Liana. And whoever's still there. So, this is more or less our Amy. Not too much more to do, so we have a lot of stray hairs. I always hesitate to draw in too many of them because it's really difficult and it could just look like your pen slipped in places. But some of them I like to add just to bring in a little bit of an imperfection. I will not even try to draw them all in, just some representation. For all the stray hairs out there, some representation in this picture I think makes sense. And it's what a lot of stray hairs have been waiting for. More representation in art. Not only the light hairs, also a couple of the darker ones. But as I said, not too much, just a little. Because also your pen is normally always much more broad than a hair on that distance, and it can look very wild very fast. This looks already pretty wild. I think it's okay. You want it more shiny? I think I like a couple of those hairs. I think this is a little bit much and we can thin that out, but I like these here. I think these add a little bit more of a realistic touch in there. This one is also looking a bit wonky, although that is actually pretty much exactly like that in the original, but it looks a bit strange. So, not much left to do. Thank you. So. Okay, but other than that, I think that's more or less it for today. I haven't been this far along with a single portrait in a single stream for quite some time. So we're really productive today. Partially a good thing. Okay, but that's it. I think we are done for today. So, let me check. Where's the window? There. Okay, we have an Amy, and I think she is pretty recognizable. I now again have already the urge to change, but I would do that later. I think here in this area a little bit of change again. I will have to check the nose again. I think this still looks a little bit wonky, but the perspective is really strange of that nose, so there is a little bit wonk built in, but I think this line has to go a little bit more how do you call it? More upwards. I don't know how to call it in English. Shadows around the mouth, perhaps. Rework a little bit up here. Also nose area, so around the nose. Hair just a little bit, perhaps here a little bit darker, because here's an area that's a bit darker than up here or down here. Here I could bring in a little bit more of a darkness, and up here it stays this light, down here it stays light, just here a little bit darker. To again bring in a little bit more three-dimensionality. Perhaps I will even remove a little bit of the white here, because there's pretty much white in comparison to that area, for that this area is not actually as bright. Yeah, but other than that, we're quite far along. Mouth, perhaps the edges also a little bit, because she has a smidge of a smile in the original and not in my version, so perhaps a little bit improvement there. But that got the look in her eyes. Thank you very much, Donna. That is one of the most important things. Get the look right and you have the feeling of the portrait right. And that is one of the most important things. So yeah, but that's it. I think we are exactly at 2 hours. I started a little bit later, so a little bit shorter. But I think we have a pretty okay picture. So this was again an episode of the Buffy Club. Next week there will be another Buffy Club on Friday. For the episodes, let me quickly look them up. I've actually not too long ago closed it here. The episode list. But let me check for a second. We have the episodes. I will also list them on my Discord. We have the episodes Passion and Killed by Death. So I'm really looking forward who will be a nominee and who will be voted for. I can imagine Passion is a pretty evil episode. So if you're watching for the first time, be afraid. So yeah, but if you are a Buffy fan and you're here for the first time, consider joining the Buffy Club. Come on my Discord. You can find the link down in the link tree. There you can enter the Buffy Club and nominate and vote for those 2 episodes, upcoming episodes, and every week for 2 next episodes. And I will draw the winner on the Friday stream. And I will also be very happy to see you on that Friday stream and to chat with you, because that's what makes this fun, the live stream. To be able to communicate. Bad episodes, exactly, Liana. Bad episodes. But I'm looking forward to drawing whoever I will be drawing next week. Looking forward to see you again. Thank you all so much for dropping by and making this as much fun as it always is. I really enjoyed it. I did not have the best week, but this is a very good closing of the week, at least the weekdays. I know there's the weekend, so let's look forward to that. I wish you the best weekend ever, and I will see you on Wednesday again. See you soon, and good night.